Thank you so much for joining us here today. I would like to start off by first asking you for a quick introduction of yourself.
Sure. It's good to be here, Casey. My name is Mark Summer, and I played for 30 years in a string quartet called the Turtle Island String Quartet, which was then shortened to Turtle Island Quartet. But it was always about taking the form of a classical, you know, string quartet that would play all kinds of music, even classical music. So you see the turning it around, emphasizing jazz, blues, rock and roll, fiddle music, all the vernacular kinds of music besides classical music, and then doing that as well. So it kind of opened up people's ears, certainly opened up my ears, and I traveled all around the world. Not everywhere. I unfortunately did not get to Korea and did not get some other places that you would know about. Um, I think that's a good introduction. I am 67 years old and I've been playing cello since I was 9 and a half. So you can do the
Oh,
math.
wow.
A long time. Long time.
Yeah. Okay, then I guess we can move on to the questions.
Anything you want to ask is fair game. If I don't want to answer it, I'll say no. Next.
Uh, of course. First of all, I want to say I watched your TEDx Marin YouTube video where you performed Julio. Um, I think that was I think that was kind of the inspiration for me to start learning this piece as a contemporary um, piece for my young arts application this year. And
Fantastic.
I've had a lot of fun learning it so far. Uh, what is your initial inspiration behind your composition pieces? Can you share insights into your creative process, particularly how you begin, like, say, a new composition?
Hmm. Well, it usually comes with the melody, and I play it on piano, so I have all the harmonic language in my left hand. And then I have the difficult challenge of being able to play it on just the cello with
Mhm.
four strings. Some things work more easily than others. Julio has some difficulties. Besides all the technical brouhaha, the stuff that I kind of invented or borrowed or stole from guitar. I don't know if is that obvious that it's influenced from guitar playing?
Yeah, I could tell, especially like the pits part with the dot, how most people interpret it. I think got a lot of the guitar inferences there.
Awesome. Um, I play the guitar,
Mhm.
and did you also hear drum effects?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I play the drums, and
Mhm.
and I play piano, so I can hear all the harmonic language, and yeah, I want it to be fun. I don't want it to be too hard so that it's struggling to be able to play it. Um, it's very heartfelt music. It's from my heart. Um, and it's kind of the music that I would have liked to have played. I wish there was somebody that had written that music for me when I was your age.
Yeah.
I
Silliest.
want to be clear about
Yeah.
something though. I'm not trying to say that my music's better than classical music. That would be ridiculous. There's just a big area with all sorts of influences that can be accommodated by the cello. Thankfully, we have an instrument that's unbelievably flexible.
Right. I think I've been exposed to a lot more, like, I've learned that there's so many more ways to play the cello after looking at your music, and just it amazes me how creative your thought processes are sometimes.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Um, since I played in a string quartet, I had three other people that I was
Mhm.
trying to lock in with rhythmically. I'm going like this. Lock in and end up with a sound that sounds like a jazz band or a rock band or a fiddle ensemble. and how do we do that? And it comes back to the same things that you would be told with by Jonathan, right? You studied with Jonathan
Right.
Coe.
Yeah.
Um, incredible listening. I used to listen so carefully that my ears would turn red. So either I was listening carefully or I was embarrassed. Probably a little bit of both. Um, yeah. So I have found that you know there's a cellist named Kevin Alusala, and
Yeah.
he gets his own distinct sound, very different from how I play, and but very much from the heart. So he, he- I think that some of this is new school versus old school, and the idea is to combine actually into the school, the cello
Right.
being able to play, you know, Michael Jackson, and then play Shostakovich. I'm all for Shostakovich, but I'm also for Michael Jackson.
How would you, how do you make compositions that like people across the world can all enjoy? Because I'm sure, like,
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, we're all listening to the same music. Certainly American music and world music. I mean, we're all subject to so many different influences that I think it's I think it's very easy to enjoy pieces like Julio because it's very melodic and it's a little show offy at the same time. Like,
right.
look what I can do with this cello. I can hit it. I can use it as a percussion instrument. I hit on the side of the instrument, so that's the wood block sound. Um, I encourage other cellists to play around on their instrument and find their own techniques. You know, because it's kind of unlimited. We used to do something. I might have done this too, where you take the bow and you play on the side of the instrument, which
And
sounds
like the,
like brushes on a drum set. And one of the players in Turtle Island had a piece of ebony wood glued onto the side of the violin in the on the ribs, and so because it would make more sound.
it's really creative. I never thought of it that way. And in your opinion, what are the biggest challenges faced by contemporary composers and performers within the classical music industry?
Oh, I mean, money, time, um, getting people to work together for cheap. Sometimes it's like that. Um, Having the courage of your convictions, um, believing in yourself
Mm.
when other people might not have the same vision, um, coming up with concepts that grab hold of people's imaginations even before they hear the music, and getting up every day and going back and working on it some more. I'm in the process of writing my memoir, and I have to keep an even keel, not get too upset about how my writing's going. Otherwise, I stop. And that same thing can happen with practicing cello. If you're always playing with listening to your teacher and you start comparing yourself, comparison is the thief of joy. I wish someone had taught me that. So it's good. It's good to push yourself, but not at the expense of your sanity.
And how can contemporary classical music be made more accessible to a wider audience?
Mm.
Because from what I understand, a lot of people think classical music is fading away and like we're transitioning towards more digitally produced music. So I'm just
Wow.
curious to see.
Well, my impression is Not that is so. It's a possibility. But my son's a musician in New York City, and he went and heard the New York Philharmonic, and he just couldn't stop talking about it. He said it was one of the best concerts he ever heard. So, you know, I went to see a Baroque ensemble play Purcell's The Fairy Queen, and I mean, I'll tell you, my favorite music is the Beatles and Steely Dan. You know, you might not know some of this stuff. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of the Beatles, but um, and Miles Davis on jazz and John Coltrane but classical music is, you know, the harmony of classical music is what's used to play jazz and to play the Beatles. So
Yes, so yeah.
it's not like one's better or one's worse, or they're just different. And you hear so much of all the kinds of music I love the movies, and there's just there's it's funny how they use classical music very clearly for shifting moods, because it's got so many different moods.
Thank you so much for today.
Thanks, Casey.
Stay safe and yeah,
You too.
have a good week.
All right, I will. You too.
Thank you. Bye.